All right, so today I'm going to be walking around the class and helping kids, so I'm not going to be able to do work on Zoom. So I'm going to make this video so that we can do the work together on the video. So you will need to write these down and either email me the answers or submit a picture. So first off, we have a new rule that says anytime we do not see an equal sign, we can type this into graphs. Now, when we type it into graphs, we can't use the letter T. We have to use the letter X. And so be careful there. So since I don't have the paper with me, I'm going to have to go back and forth. So we got x squared plus 3x and minus 4. All right, so we type this in. We're looking for our zeros. That's where it crosses the x-axis. And if they cross exactly, then we should be able to find both of our factors. And so first off, I'm going to start with this one. So we're going to go over 1, and this is crossing right here at 1. But whenever we do the factor, we do the opposite. And so if this is 1, the factor is going to be -1. And so when we look at our answers here, we can eliminate the positive ones right there. So it's got to be one of these two. Then when we go this way, now remember, you can see this says -10. So going this direction is negative. So -1, -2, -3, -4. But we're going to do the opposite for the factor. And the factor would be +4. So the factor would be +4. So the answer would be A. So the good part is, and the reason that we need to be able to do this for the STAR test is because using the calculator makes this easy. And so we definitely want to make sure we know how to do this. Now, you can always type this in to confirm your answer. Right now, I'm not going to do it unless I absolutely have to. So if I have two answers and I don't know which one it is, then I'll type it in to confirm it. But if it was a test, I would type all of these in to confirm it. And so when we type this in, it would make the graph switch colors if it was the right answer. All right, number 2. So once again, there's no equal sign. And so we're going to type this in. So let's go type this in. All right, so we'll start a brand new one. And so we got x squared. Oh, sorry, no. So we have x squared. Forgot what it was. Minus 4x. I think it said +3. Yeah. All right, so we're going to hit enter. All right, so this right here crosses at 1. So 1 and then 2, 3. So 1 and 3. And they're both positive. So I know that my answers, if these are both positive, my factors are going to be the opposite. They're both going to be negative. So I'm looking for -1 and -3. So -1 and -3 would be B. All right, so I'm going to type this in. There's no equal sign, so I'm going to type this in. So we'll go open up a brand new graph. And I think it said 2x squared. No, I think it said h, but 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. So plus 5x plus 3. Hit enter. Okay, it looks like it just touches one time. Okay. Now I really can't tell for sure where this is touching right there. If it was over a little bit more, I would say it was touching exactly there, but I'm not 100% sure on this one. But it looks like it's only touching one time right there. It actually kind of looks like it's dipping below this. So either way, I probably need to, whatever my answer is, I need to type this in and check it. And so let's see what we got here. Oh, so when I look at my answers, notice how all these had two sets of parentheses, or sometimes it may have one set of parentheses, but a squared. This all has one set of parentheses. So I'm going to type this in, but I can already tell you that nothing's going to match exactly. So how are we going to know if we got the answer? Well, let's start typing in. Let's see if we can figure it out. So I'm going to type in this answer right here. So we're going to type in 2x minus 3. So we'll hit tab. Now there's parentheses, so I'm going to go ahead and put the parentheses, 2x minus 3. So whatever it looks like, I'm going to make it look exactly like it. Hit enter. Okay, well, this isn't anything like this, but here's the interesting thing, and this is what we want you to remember, that what we're looking for is things that have the same 0 in this case. So you can tell that this isn't crossing anywhere near where this 0 would be. And like I said, there's even a chance there could be 2 zeros right there. So it's definitely not this one. So we know it's not A. Let's do x plus 4. So on this, I don't want to keep typing in new stuff because there's going to get to be so many lines going to look crazy. So I'm going to go up and edit this pink one right here. So I'm going to delete this, and I think it was x plus 3 was the next one. All right, well, that's definitely not crossing at, they don't have the same zeros, so it's not x plus 3. Oh, I'm sorry, it was actually x plus 4. So let me switch that real quick. So tab, go up, delete x plus 4, sorry. All right, well, that's definitely not it. So the fact that it's crossing it doesn't matter. It has to have the same zeros. And this are not the same. Okay, so then we've got x minus 1. So tab, I'm going to change this to minus 1. Hit enter. All right, so that's not looking. I know at this point you're saying, okay, well, it's got to be D. I would still check it to make sure. So 2x plus 3. So tab 2x. So 2x plus 3. Hit enter. And look at that. So they are crossing right there on the x-axis. And so this is going to be our answer right here. So anytime that they just give you one of the factors, okay, so they didn't give me both of them, they just gave me one of them, then it's wherever they have the exact same 0, okay? So wherever they have the exact same 0. I guarantee that there's going to be one or two questions on the STAR test like this, and a pretty good chance that we're going to see one or two questions on our test like this. So this is very important that you understand that, yes, this didn't match exactly, but they had the exact same zeros, and the zeros are what's important here. All right. Number 4. All right, so once again, no equal sign, so we're going to go type this in. So go start a new one. It was 12x squared. So 12x squared minus 7x. So minus 7x and minus 12. So minus 12. All right, so, okay, so this kind of stinks because this doesn't cross exactly on a number. So these little, what we call tick marks right here, those are our numbers, and it's not crossing exactly on, like this would be -1. It's not on it. This is in between 1 and 2. So unfortunately, I can't look at this and figure this out. So this kind of stinks. The only way we're going to be able to figure this out is to type in our answers and see which one makes this green, these green lines go away. So we're going to start off typing this one in. So 3x plus 4. So hit tab, and then parentheses 3x plus 4, and then parentheses 4x minus 3. So 4x minus 3. All right, now before I hit enter, I want you to keep your eyes on the green right here. Okay, so this popped up and it was really close, but the question is can you still see this green? Yeah, I still see the green, and as long as we see the green, this is not the answer. All right, so we're gonna go take a look. What's the difference between these right here? So this stays the same. This right here changed to a plus. So I'm going to change this first one right here. I'm sorry, it didn't change to a plus. It changed to a minus. So I'm going to go change that to a minus. So hit tab, go up, and we're going to go change this to a minus. All right, now remember the green was the original. So keep your eyes on the green. Okay, so that totally changed. I still see the green. So as long as I see the green, this is not the answer. All right, so now these stayed the same, and this one changed to a plus. So let's hit tab, go up, and we'll just change this to a plus. All right, so keep your eyes on the green. Oh, look at that. So the green is gone. I don't see that green anymore. This is my answer. Okay. So anytime that we can't use the zeros to help us, then we're going to either make sure it changes the color of it, or if it gives us a line, it's got to go through the zero. And even notice, because this went right on top of the green one, they have the same zeros. So it's still really all about the zeros. But like I said, the green one's gone. This is my answer right here. All right, so that was C. All right, so when I look at this one right here does not have an equal sign, but this time they're giving me the two factors, and then they want to know, when you work it out, what does it make? And so on this, I can already tell you that we're not going to be able to use the zeros to help us find the factors. These are the factors right here. So what we're going to have to do is type this in, and then we're going to have to see which one makes it change colors. So like I said, even though that this is backwards from this right here, we can still, there's no equal sign, so we can still at least type it in and match the colors. So let's go type this in. So we got negative x minus 4 in parentheses. So we're going to start a brand new one and go parentheses negative x minus 4. Close your parentheses, and negative 5x minus 5. So minus 5x minus 5, close parentheses. All right, so we hit enter. Now, you could look at this because it's going to be habit and say, oh, look, I've got, what looks to be 1 there, negative 1, and 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. So you could be sitting there and looking at that and saying that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not going to help us because when we go look at our answers, we don't have any factors here. And so we're just going to have to type these in. So I'm going to start right here by typing this in. So we got 5x squared. So we're going to hit tab, 5x squared plus 25x. So plus 25x. And plus 20, so plus 20. All right, so keep your eyes on this color right here. If that changes from, what is that, like a brown color? That changes from brown to something else, and this is my answer. Oh, we got lucky. It did on the first try. So as soon as that changed color, I don't need to do anything else. I'm guaranteed that this is my answer. So sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes it's the first one. Sometimes you're unlucky, and, it's C or D. So, but we got lucky there. All right, so question 6. Once again, we do not have an equal sign here, so we can type this in. But once again, these are my factors. And so I'm not going to be able to use the zeros to help. We're just going to have to see which one makes the graph change colors. All right, so we're going to go type this in. So we're going to go minus 3x. So we're going to open this up. Minus 3x, parentheses, and then 3x minus 3. So 3x minus 3. Now, if you watched yesterday's video, we taught you that this calculator has a weakness, and we don't really understand why it has this weakness, but it doesn't like this. And so I've done this for a couple of years now. I didn't know this the very first year, but I know this now, that this calculator can't handle this. Now, you won't probably know this until you see this right here. And so when you see this cannot accept the change in valid input or some sort of weird error message, because we never get this right here. I'm telling you, it's always the X next to a parentheses. Okay. So you look up here, sure enough, and it's the X next to the beginning of a parentheses. So it wouldn't matter if the X was on the inside of this parentheses, but X right there. And the way we fix this is we just simply we put a multiplying there, or you could even put this in parentheses of its own and it would work. But I just add a little multiplying there, and then boom, it works. So we want to make sure, because we've seen this on the STAR test now. And so we want to make sure that we definitely know this. So now that we've got this and it worked, so now all we got to do is see which one makes this red go away. So we're just going to start typing these in because there are no factors here. So factors would be inside of these parentheses, and that's actually what they gave us. These are our factors here. And so we're going to go in and work this out. So I'm going to type in minus 9x squared. Now, let me take a break for a second and say, if you can do mountaintops, this is what we actually learned in unit or the beginning of this unit. So if you know how to do mountaintops, you can probably actually go straight to the answer. Okay. Or at least eliminate a couple of things right now. Like, heck, C, even if you don't know what you're doing, C doesn't really appear to make much sense. I mean, where'd all the X's go? But in the end, if you don't know what to do, then like I said, we're just going to type these in and see which one makes it go away. So I'm going to hit tab and type in a negative 9x squared and watch my red real quick. So we're going to hit enter. Nope, totally different. I can still see the red. That's all that matters. As long as you see that red, we do not have an answer. All right, so you hit tab. Sorry, my stupid thing's not liking me right now. All right, so let's see. So we're gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna skip down to D real quick, just because this has negative 9x squared. This has negative 9x squared. So I'm just gonna add plus 9x. So we'll come back and do these two if we need to. So add plus 9x. So plus 9x. All right, so once again, red was the original. So you're keeping your eye on that original right there and see if it changes color. Sure enough, it changed black. So this is definitely going to be our answer right here. So the answer is going to be D. So yes, I did this with using the calculator instead of doing mountaintops. You could have done mountaintops. Mountaintops probably would have been quicker. It would have been much quicker to go negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. And X, we multiply the bigs, add the littles, 1 plus 1 would be 2, and you would have known immediately it was A or D. And then, multiply right here. Negative 3 times negative 3 would be a positive 9, and it'd have to be that one. Also on this one, you could have done the multiple mountaintops like this. And a lot of kids struggle with this right here, but you could have done that as well. So, and in the end, a lot of times actually working it out is quicker if the answer is D, or, even if you go backwards and say you're like, oh, I'm going to do D so that, if it's D, then, I'll get it first. Well, then you would have to work them all out because A was the answer. So in the end, working it out with the calculator sometimes takes a little bit of time, but you're guaranteed to get the answer. And that's why I like it, is I don't have to worry about making any kind of mistakes or anything. All right, so let's take a look at 7. So, all right, so 7. So we do not have an equal sign. An equal sign. So we know we can go calculator. But this time I do have factors in here. So when we got these parentheses in here like this, I do have factors. So we can type this in and use the zeros to help us. So we're going to see we got x squared plus 8x. So we're going to open up a new graph. So x squared plus 8x and then plus 16. So I guess it helps if you put a plus 16. Hit enter. Okay, now notice this is only touching one time. Okay. And remember the one we had a while ago, I was like, it kind of looks like it's only touching one time, but it kind of also looked like it dipped below it. This is clearly only touching once. I mean, it's definitely not going below it. So we're going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's -4. So -1, -2, -3, -4. So this is -4, but I should only have one number. Okay. And then we don't want -4. We want the opposite for the factor. So the opposite would be +4. And so I'm looking for something that has a +4. This doesn't. So this has +4s, but then it's got some other stuff, which is kind of weird. Remember we said there should only be one number here. Okay, so having all of this just doesn't quite make sense. This has a negative. It does have a positive right here, but it should only have one number, and that one number is positive 4, and A has that. Okay. And then if we want to make sure, so you're like, I don't know, is that it? Well, then type it in and check it. So tab and go parentheses, X plus 4, close parentheses, and there was a squared on the outside. You do have to put that squared, hit enter, and you can see that it switched from pink to green. So this is definitely, you're guaranteed that this is your answer. All right. So this, now we've hit some old review, okay? Do y'all remember what domain is? Domain, we don't want to forget this stuff. This is easy stuff right here. Domain is your X's, okay? And whenever you have a picture, remember we crop the picture. Remember, the picture's happy to see you. Okay, so we crop this picture here. So we've got this picture, and if we're doing domain, which is X's, we got to draw a line that crosses the X-axis. So it's going to be a vertical line right here that crosses the X-axis, and it crosses at -4. And then remember, we go on each side because we're cropping this picture. So you got to go on the very edge of the picture. And then what X did it touch? It touched -4 and +4. So you go and look at your answers. Only one of these has -4 and +4. The answer is going to be D. All right, number 9 is range. So range is another easy one. So range would be your Y's. Okay, so we're just going to look and see which of these answers lists out all these Y's. Now, the easiest way to do this is to take one number at a time. So 1, if it doesn't have a 1, mark it off. So that has a 1, that has a 1, that has a 1, but this does not have a 1, so we're going to mark it off. Okay, they list 1 again. Okay, that's great, but we only have to list one time. So we don't have to worry about that. We've taken care of that one. All right, what about 3? Okay, that has a 3, has a 3. This does not have a 3. And then 7. Okay, both these have 7. So how do I know which one it is? These have the same number, except for this has a 0. Was there ever a 0 in here? Nope. So it can't be that one. So the answer is B. So once again, what we loved about these, yes, there's math involved, but the calculator's doing it all. Okay. And then we can just match it, or we can look at the zeros. What we love about these is there's not math involved. Okay. I mean, we're not adding or subtracting. We just have to know that domain is the X's, and we have to crop the picture to where it crosses the X axis and it tells us the numbers. There's no math right here. You just had to find out which one had these Y's. And so that's why we love these. And you want to make sure that we do not forget these for that STAAR test. This is what, and I tell you guys that this will be the easiest STAAR test you've ever taken. I mean, obviously that's if you know this easy stuff. You don't know the easy stuff, well, it can't be easy. All right, number 10. So we're looking at this. Not really seeing any keywords up here. I've got a picture. Okay, I like that. When I look at my answers, now I can't type this in right now. Okay, so what I would love to do is type this into the calculator and just match this picture right here. But I can't right now because of the fact Y is not by itself. But we have taught y'all a trick to help y'all easily get Y by itself whenever you've got a Y here and an X there, but Y is not by itself. We take the number that's with the Y and we put it at the end, but we change the sign. So it goes from a +1 to a -1, and then we can get rid of that. Now Y is by itself. So this -1 becomes a +1. We get rid of that. This becomes a -1. We get rid of it. This becomes a +1. We get rid of this. Now we can type this in the calculator. And there's also one other thing we can do. We've always talked about that slope is in front of X, even if there's a parentheses, that slope's always in front of X. And so one of the things that we've trained y'all to do anytime that there's a line is to determine if it's positive or negative. Now, even if you can't determine if it's positive or negative, you can type all these in and just see which one matches this right here. Okay, you can see if it crosses the Y-axis at 3 and the X-axis at 3. But if you know slope dude is going downhill and that's negative, then the number in front of X has to be negative. I just eliminated these two. So now I just got to see which one it is between these. All right, so let's go type this in. So we're going to type in graphs, -1 parentheses x minus 4. Start a brand new one. So -1 parentheses x minus 4, close parentheses. And then at the end right there, -1. All right, we're going to hit enter. Hey, that looks pretty close right there. So 1, 2, 3, it's crossing the y-axis at 3. 1, 2, 3, it's crossing the x-axis at 3. Hey, I think this is our answer right there. That looks like that line right there. So the answer is A. So on this, y wasn't by itself, but we just moved this to put y by itself, and then all of a sudden we were able to type it into the calculator and match it. Okay, so this right here, this is kind of what we've been doing here lately. We've been finding the zeros, but we've been taking those zeros and turning them into factors. Right now, we're just trying to find the zeros. So zeros are just where it crosses the x-axis. So it crosses there, there. I'm just following this red line right here. So it crosses there, 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 there. There's actually 4 zeros here. Okay, so -2, -1, 0, and 1. So there's got to be 4 zeros. And the only one that has that -2 right there was this one right here. So the answer would be C. And it was the only one that had 4 zeros. So, and remember, zeros, you just take the actual number. It's the only time we would change it is if it was a factor, and these aren't factors. So the zeros, you just actually just take the zeros, the numbers. All right. Okay. Okay, so these right here, this is a big part of, what we're doing right now with the no equal sign. That is very important in order to pass the star. But here, this might be the most important. And that's anytime we see y equals. We need to be able to get these right here. So anytime we see y equals and points, we're typing this into the calculator. We're going to type in the x's and see if the y's match. So we're going to start with A here. So we're going to go, I already forgot what A was, -8x. So -8x plus 20. Hit enter. We're going to hit menu 5-1. And then we're typing in the x, so -3. So we're going to type in -3. And it says that we got 44. Okay, that's definitely not it. I know it's not going to be B. Okay. Now, you may not know this, so you may type in B and find out that you're not going to get the answer. But here's why I know it's not B. Both of these signs change. Remember, anytime both of the signs change, the only thing it's going to do is change this from a +44 to a -44. It just changes this sign right here. Okay, so I know it's not going to be B. So I'm going to skip down to C. So what's the difference between A and C? Just change this +20 to a -20. So I'm going to hit tab. I'm going to go change this. So I'm not going to type in a new one. I'm going to go change this. Now, if you want to start a brand new graph and type in a new one, you can, but don't put multiple graphs on one whenever you're testing points, because it won't work. All right, so we're going to go put a -20, hit enter, menu 5-1. Now notice nothing happened. You still type in the number we're looking for. So I think it was -3. All right, and we get -3 and +4. Is that what we're looking for? Yep. But then we got 2 of these, so we're going to type in -2 and see if we get -4. So -2, and we get -4. So yes, this is my answer right here. So the answer is C. All right, so let's go type in this one. So we're going to type in A. So we got y equals, that's why we're typing it in, and then we're typing in the x's and checking the y's. At least need to check 2 of them. So we're going to type in -x. So go open up a new graph. -x plus 3. Hit enter. Menu 5-1. And then we're typing in 3 and see if we get -4. So 3, and we do not get -4. So this is not it right here. Okay, so they changed both of these signs. So if they change both of those signs, then the only thing that's going to happen is This technically would change, but it doesn't change because you can't have a -0 or a +0. But in the end, I know this is not going to be it. Okay. So let's try C. So 4 over 3x. So I'm going to start over because that didn't have anything to do with the last one. So control divide 4 over 3x. Hit enter. Menu 5-1. I think we're typing in 3. And it says 3 and 4. Was that what we were looking for? Ooh, that's close. We wanted 3 and -4. So our rule is that we change the sign of both of these. Well, it's only got one. It's just got this right here. It doesn't have, like, this had 2 of them, but this right here only has 1. So we just got to change the sign. So it's probably going to be D. So tab, go up. Just go put that negative right there. All right, menu 5-1. You can see we have the 3 and the -4, and then we were supposed to type in -3, and it did. It gave us +4. So that's what we were looking for. 3 and -4, and -3 and +4. So the answer would be D. All right, 14. So 14, we have an equal sign, but it's not y equals. So this is just one regular equation. So once again, this is easy, but we got to remember, where do you type in one regular equation? Okay, well, that actually goes not under graphs. This is not a graphs thing. This is regular calculator, and it is menu 3-1. So we're going to go to regular calculator and menu 3-1. This is nsolve. And so we love nsolve. Nsolve is very easy, but you got to know when we go there. So we saw just a regular equation. Wasn't y equals. There's just a basic equation that we need to solve for x. And so one basic equation, menu 3-1. So we're going to type in -3x plus 1 minus 3x plus 1 equals x plus 1. So x plus 1. And then there's something you have to remember here. Okay, you're not done with this until you hit comma and then the letter we're looking for, comma x. So then you should be able to hit enter. We get 0. Is 0 an option? It is. All right. So if 0 is an option, then that's our answer right there. All right. We only got 3 more. All right. So first off, I hope you remember this right here. So these right here are really easy. You just type this in the calculator. It's going to give you a decimal. So square root of 18. So square root is control x squared. There should only be one box. If you do something and get 2 boxes, you've hit the wrong thing. So 1 box. So square root of 18, I get 4.2. So I'm going to write down right here 4.2. So I'm going to type all these in. Whichever one gives me 4.2, then that's my answer. All right, so we're going to type in 3 square roots of 2. So 3, control x squared, 2. Hit enter. Look at that. All right, that is our answer right there. So the answer is going to be A. So we love those, super easy. I wish there was a million of these on the star, but there's usually only 1 or 2. So, but we need to get those 1 or 2. All right, so what do we see here? So it's been a little bit of time since we've seen this. This is what I want to stress. When we see 2 letters back to back, it could be like Q with R here in the parentheses. It could be S and T, 2 letters back to back. This is really a Y right here. So when we have Y equals, we can go type this under graphs. So anytime we have Y equals, go type it under graphs. So we're going to go to graphs and type in 3x squared plus 4x. So 3x squared plus 4x minus 2. So minus 2. We're going to hit enter. Okay. We're going to hit menu 5-1. Okay. And then remember, that doesn't do anything for me. But when I come back here and I see this random 2, then we're going to type in that random 2 because we hit menu 5-1. I'm going to type in that random 2 and I get 2 and 18. Let's look. Oh, right there. That's going to be it. So we want to make sure we remember that we have a y equals, we type it in. We hit menu 5-1. If they have any extra numbers out here, we're going to type in those extra numbers. Okay. And as you start typing them in, then we should be able to get our answer. And then last but not least today, we are doing X and Y intercepts, save the easiest for last. So X intercept is where it crosses the X axis. So right here is where the red line is crossing the X axis. It's crossing at -4, so it's not going to be that one, or that one. This is the only one that has X is -4. I'm going to go ahead and just check the Y intercept as well. So the Y intercept is -2 right here where it crosses the Y axis, and that's what we got. So the answer is C. All right, so we went over a lot of stuff today. Guys, this is huge. Like this right here, I'm not going to say alone. There's some more easy stuff. But this right here, I mean, this is getting you past the STAR test. All right, a lot of good stuff right here. So if you struggle with this, man, watch this video again. Okay, I mean, we need to be good at we had a lot of calculator stuff. We had some old stuff that was not calculator, but really easy. So we just need to make sure that we know how to do all this. All right, guys. So make sure that you either send me an email with your answers or write it on a sheet of paper, take a picture, and submit the picture. All right, guys. Tomorrow there is no school. Y'all have a great weekend.